Hello, my name is Susan Ashley, and I wanted to do a little video today about the contract of silence that many of you have. And it's also part of a group of contracts actually, but I just wanted to concentrate on this one. And so if you've had a past life where you have done a contract or an oath to a secret society or religion, etc., you often have the vow of silence. And because of that, you find that when people do things to you that are unethical or wrong or abuse you in some way, it often happens with abuse victims, they don't say anything because they have been in a way programmed, even from previous lives, to be silent about what happens. There's a lot of feeling of, if I tell the truth, I am betraying the person who abused me. I mean, that's pretty confused, isn't it? To think that you're betraying a person who abused you by telling the truth. I know, it's shocking, but it's because we have often a contract, a soul contract of silence, and it's never just to that one person either. So sometimes it takes a lot of courage to speak your truth when someone has betrayed you in some way. It takes a lot of courage to confess. Now, what's interesting is in the church, of course, they have confession done in front of a priest, and the priest gives you Hail Marys or Our Fathers to do, and you go out and you do them, and you're relieved of your sins. Right. Now, for any of you who were brought up in a Catholic situation, you, like myself, you would understand that when you go there, you're talking amongst yourselves with the other kids going, what will I tell him? What can I confess to? Because you haven't actually done anything wrong, but you're confessing to doing something wrong to someone who actually can't absolve you from those sins anyway. And it's like that also anchors in that contract of silence, because you're telling it to another person and they're giving you absolution and freedom from your sin, and you don't get to speak your truth in another way. It's kind of screwed up, don't you think? So our psychology, our minds have been programmed as victims to be silent, to say nothing. And I feel this is really important at the moment, and I'll tell you why. As we're moving into 5D, unity consciousness, we're discovering that our mind is one mind. So what you think, I think. What you think influences me. So if we want to change this world into a world of truth, and a world where victims are believed and not persecuted, then we need to start thinking in a different way. How can I explain this? It's kind of, I got it this morning, and it was really cool, and now I have to put it in words, and sometimes it's a bit harder. So, you know how you look at ants and bees and you see them as a collective? And sometimes you look at religious people and you see them as a collective as well. It's like they've got one mind, and they're all thinking alike, and they've all co-created this one mission. Well, regardless of whether you're part of a religion or not, that's what you're doing. We are co-creating the reality in which we live. And at the moment, you've got a lot of things being uncovered. The truth is being revealed. And the reason the truth is being revealed is because a lot of people are working on that contract. And they're working on their shame and their feeling of betrayal for telling the truth. Because often when they do, they're persecuted. So if you have a contract from this life or another life to be silent, then of course people aren't going to listen to you, and that will remain your truth. You won't feel that you can put information out there because people won't listen to you. So you'll feel like it's worthless, it's hopeless, there's no point. And you won't feel like you can give out the message that you have to give, whether that's energetically or physically. Because you're holding back in your mind. In your mind, you're going, oh, that mongrel did this and they did that. And you might tell a few friends and you'll all get together and you'll say how terrible it is that happened and how awful that is. But no one's actually speaking out and holding that person accountable. One of the interesting things that the aliens told me, and I'm sort of going to go through a series of videos about what they told me, but one of the good things that they told me was in Atlantis and prior to that, if someone did something that was against universal laws or ethics in the sense of really hurting someone, committing a crime of sorts, they would place them in a room, and the walls, everything of this room was amethyst. So the floor was amethyst, the walls were amethyst, the ceiling was amethyst. And by placing them in that room for a period of time, the crystals would bring about a vibration that person would experience what the victim experienced as a result of their actions. And they would be cured of ever doing that again to someone else. So it was about curing people, not persecuting people. And I think that's really interesting. What I've been... now, clearly I had a very strong contract of silence throughout many, many lifetimes. And I've released myself from that, which is why I'm now opening up and communicating. Now, I never do any work on someone else unless I've done it myself. So there are some things I don't work with. I refer people to other people because it's not what I specialize in and it's not something that I've been through. But for the things that I do work on, I do it in a manner that I absolutely know it works because I've done it myself. And a lot of these techniques I'm gifted by spirit or by the beautiful beings, the alien beings, the Starseeds that work with me. And there are other ones. So I'm gifted these techniques, as are other people. So if you have a contract of silence, you probably also have a contract of obedience. So I'd like you to just think about that for a moment. And when you're clearing contracts, you have mental contracts and you have soul contracts. These are two different things and two different ways of releasing. So a mental contract is far more easier for you to release personally. A soul contract is something that often you need someone to help you to heighten your energy so that you can go into your Akashic records if you're not able to do that. So I will leave you with that today, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. If you'd like to make an appointment with me or know more about me, go to my website, lovelightandtruth.com. And I do have a YouTube channel that I'd love you to subscribe to, because very soon I'm going to start putting things just on the YouTube channel, because Facebook and YouTube don't mix anymore. And so they're two different audiences, and I'd like to kind of move them all over to one. Okay, thank you so much for listening to me today, and have a fabulous, create an awesome day.